Hello viewers, we have been discussing English literary history or the history of English literature, and this is the second part of that series. And in the first part of the series, I have tried to cover all English literature and its literary works. And in this video, I shall try to examine and discuss Middle English literature 1066 to 1500. This is the time period of Middle English literature. So let's begin it. We all know Norman conquest it occurred in 1066, and after the Norman conquest of England in 1066, the written form of the Anglo-Saxon language it became less common, and under the influence of the new aristocracy, French language it became the standard language of courts, parliament, and polite society. This I have already told you. And as the invaders integrated their language and literature mingled with that of the natives, and the Norman dialects of the ruling class became Anglo-Norman. Clear? From then until the 12th century, Anglo-Saxon underwent a gradual transition into Middle English, and political power was no longer in English hands, so that the West Saxon literary language had no more influence than any other dialect, and Middle English literature was written in many dialects that corresponded to the region, history, culture, and background of individual writers. Here I don't have to explain anything, so let's go on. In this Middle English period, religious literature continued to enjoy popularity, and hagiographies were written, adapted, and translated. For example, the life of Saint Audrey Adamers, 1060 to 1126. So this is an important thing you have to remember. And at the end of 12th century, Layman in Brugge adapted the Norman French of Wales to produce the first English language work to present the legends of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. This is also another important point you must remember. And it was also the first historiography written in English since the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. So in Middle English, these works were considered as remarkable work, and it was also the first historiography since the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, and that is King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table. Knights of the Round Table. Do remember it. Okay. Then, okay, this is a page from the 14th century Middle English manuscript. Here, it is not visible, and if you are inquisitive enough, then you should check this out in the Google. In Wikipedia, you will get it. So this is a part of Piers Plowman from a 14th century manuscript. Okay, then what happened? Then Middle English translations, notably Wycliffe's Bible, it helped to establish as a literary language. This is also another important point. Middle English Bible translations, notably Wycliffe's Bible, it helped to establish English as a literary language. Okay, a question may come that whose translation had helped to establish English as a literary language? Then you have to write Middle English Bible translations of Wycliffe's Bible. Wycliffe's Bible is the name now given to a group of Bible translations into Middle English that were made under the direction of or at the instigation of John Wycliffe. And they appeared between about 1382 and 1395. And these Bible translations were the chief inspiration and caused the Lollard movement and pre-Reformation movement that rejected many of the teachings of the Roman Catholic Church. Okay, this is also pivotal point you must remember. Another literary genre, that of romances, it appeared in English from the 13th century with King Horn and Havelock the Dane. It based on Anglo-Norman originals such as the Romance of Horn, but it was in the 4th century that major writers in English first appeared. These were William Langland, Geoffrey Chaucer, and so-called Pearl poet whose most famous work is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. This you have to remember. Okay, let me tell you one thing here. Geoffrey Chaucer, you all know about him. Actually, he is considered but not widely accepted or not widely institutionalized that Geoffrey Chaucer is the father of English language, and not language, father of English literature, because he had tried to write in English language in the Middle English time when people were not using English language as a medium to express their emotion, thought, or as a medium to write literary works. But he did, and through his work, Canterbury Tales, he has established a movement for English literary works. Okay, and here we have got that another literary genre, that of romances. It appeared in English from the 13th century with King Horn and Havelock the Dane, based on Anglo-Norman originals such as the Romance of Horn. But it was in the 14th century that major writers in English first appeared. There were William Langland, Geoffrey Chaucer, and the so-called Pearl poet. Questions often come in the competitive exams that who are the Pearl poets? Choose given below. Choose the option given below, like that. So you have to search about it in detail. Pearl poet. Okay, whose most famous work is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. So one of the major or notable works of Pearl poets is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. The Langland's Piers Plowman, William Langland's Piers Plowman, it was written during 1360 to 87, and it is also written in Middle English, and it is an allegorical narrative poem written in unrhymed alliterative verse. Correct? Then now let's try to know about Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, it is one of the remarkable works in the Middle English period, and it is a late 14th century Middle English alliterative romance. It is one of the better known Arthurian stories of an established type known as the beheading game. Developing from Welsh, Irish, and English traditions, Sir Gawain highlighted the importance of honor and chivalry, and it had preserved in the same manuscript with Sir Gawain, where three other poems now generally accepted as the work of the same author, including an intricate elegiac poem Pearl. The English dialect of these poems from the Midlands is markedly different from that of the London-based Chaucer, and though influenced by French in the scenes at court in Sir Gawain, there are in the poems also many dialect words, often of Scandinavian origin, that belong to northwest England. So this is a picture of Geoffrey Chaucer. Okay, so you should know he looks like this, Geoffrey Chaucer. Okay, and I request you to go through his autobiography. It is available both in YouTube or in Google. Middle English, it lasted until the 1470s when the Chancery Standard. Chancery Standard, I have already told you, it is a London-based form of English language, and it became widespread. And the printing press also started to standardize this language. And Chaucer, he is best known today for the Canterbury Tales, and this is a collection of short stories written in Middle English, mostly in verse, although some are in prose, that are presented as a part of storytelling contest by a group of pilgrims as they travel together from Southwark to the shrine of St. Thomas Becket at Canterbury Cathedral. One thing is sure, from Canterbury Tales, questions are often asked. They are heavily asked, if I broadly speak. Okay, so you must know about Geoffrey Chaucer and the Canterbury Tales. Questions will come for sure. Okay, so this is a collection of stories that I already told you, and this in the story, it is depicted that there were a group of pilgrims, and in the journey of their pilgrimage, they had to tell a story. Okay, and it was like a contest, and they were going to Southwark to the shrine of St. Thomas Becket at Canterbury Cathedral. So what was the cathedral name? This kind of question also comes. And Chaucer is a significant figure in the development of the legitimacy of the vernacular Middle English at a time when the dominant literary languages in England were still French and Latin. So he was the man who has brought, notice, Middle English. Okay, though at that time French and Latin were dominant and influential language. Despite that, he has tried to popularize vernacular Middle English. Okay. At this time, literature in England was being written in various languages, including Latin, Norman French, and English. The multilingual nature of the audience for literature in the 14th century, it is illustrated by the example of John Gower. John Gower, his period lasted from 1332 to 1408, and a contemporary of William Langland and a personal friend of Chaucer. Gower is remembered primarily for three major works: Mirror de Iomi, if I'm not wrong, I'm sorry if I pronounce wrong, Vox Clemtis, and Confessio Amantis. So these three long poems written in Anglo-Norman, Latin, and Middle English respectively, which are united by common moral and political themes. So these kind of questions are often asked. So you have to remember whatever the word I have, whatever the things I have discussed here. Then let's go on. And significant religious works were also created in the 14th century, including those of Julian of Norwich and Richard Rolle Julius' Revelation of Divine Love about 1393. It is believed to be the first published book written by a woman in the English language. And a major work from the 15th century was Le Morte d'Arthur. Here, I'm sorry if I pronounced wrong, by Sir Thomas Malory, which was printed by Caxton in 1485. And this is also a compilation of some French and English Arthurian romances, and was among the earliest books printed in England. And it was popular and influential in the later revival of interest in the Arthurian legends. Okay, in our okay, now let's discuss the medieval theater. It is also a part of medieval English language and literature. So in the Middle English or Middle English literature period, at the time, drama in the vernacular languages of Europe may have emerged from enactments of the liturgy, and mystery plays were presented in the porches of cathedrals or by scrolling players on feast days, and miracle and mystery plays along with morality plays or interludes, and later evolved into more elaborate forms of drama, such as was seen on the Elizabethan stages. Another form of medieval theater was the mummers' play. Okay, questions are often asked that write a play of medieval theater, then you will write. That's whatever I will say, you keep in mind. So mummers' play, you have to know about it, so you search it in the Google. Mummers' play, it was a form of early street theater associated with the Morris dance, and it is concentrating on themes such as Saint George and the Dragon and Robin Hood. So we all know about Robin Hood. If you don't know, then you must watch the movie or watch any video available in YouTube. And these were folk tales retelling old stories, and the actors travel from town to town performing these for their audiences in return for money and hospitality. And another place, mystery place and miracle place, they are among the earliest formally developed place in medieval Europe. Medieval mystery place, it focused on the representation of Bible stories in churches as develops with accompanying antiphonal song, and they developed from the 10th to the 16th century, reaching the height of their popularity in the 15th century before being rendered obsolete by the rise of professional theater. So here, this is an example of mystery play. Okay, let me zoom out for you. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay, that's it. Now let's go on. So there are four complete or nearly complete extant English biblical collections of plays from the late medieval period. The most complete is the York Cycle of 48 pageants, and they were performed in the city of York from the middle of the 14th century until 1569. Besides the Middle English drama, there are three surviving plays in Cornish known as the Ordinalia. And having grown out of the religiously based mystery plays of the Middle Ages, the morality play, it is a genre of medieval and early Tudor theatrical entertainment which represented a shift towards a more secular base for European theater. And morality plays are a typical type of allegory in which the protagonist is meant by personifications of various moral attributes who try to prompt him to choose a godly life over one of evil. And these plays were most popular in Europe during the 15th and 16th centuries. So mystery plays, this mystery and morality plays, find out the mystery and morality plays of the following line. Like that question comes, so you have to be prepared. Be ready. Then the summoning of every man, or the summoning of every man, that was from 59 to 1519, 1509 to 19, usually referred to simply as every man. It is a late 15th century English morality play, and like John Bunyan's allegory Pilgrim's Progress, it was in 1678 published. So these two you should know when this was published, what is the subject of this thing, and what kind of things are said in this book. So you have to know. So please read that book, Pilgrim's Progress. If you not read the book in detail, that's too okay, but you have to know each and every important thing of this book. Everyone examines the question of Christian salvation through the use of allegorical characters. Okay, through this. That's it. Then after the Middle English, we will Middle English literature of English. Then in our upcoming videos, we will learn about the history of English Renaissance from 1500 to 1660. Thank you so much for watching the video. Keep on growing, keep on watching, keep on learning.